Good afternoon, and thank you for coming to the 2015 March State of the City Luncheon. My name is Andrea Kaikala. I'm the CEO of the Kent Chamber of Commerce. It is now my pleasure to introduce our MC for the event, our President-elect John Schneider with Edward Jones. John has been on the board of directors for the past 4 years. Working his way through the ranks of our ambassador program, he exemplifies homegrown leadership and is an asset to our community. Please join me in welcoming President-elect John Schneider.
It is my honor to introduce our speaker for this luncheon, Mayor Suzette Cook. She was elected mayor of the city of Kent in 2005, re-elected in 2009, and again in 2013. She serves as the CEO to this city, working with Kent's 7-member city council, most of which are in the room, and over 600 city employees. Now, a little bit off the script, something that I know also about the mayor. If anybody in this room has had a business that you've opened in the last decade and were a member or joined the chamber soon thereafter, you saw the mayor at your front door helping you with that ribbon cutting. So, and I know this for a fact because she helped me with mine. And so I'd like to not waste any more time and help us welcome Mayor Suzette Cook.
I am really thrilled to once again give my State of the City address from ShoWare Center. This is North America's first sports and entertainment facility to be certified LEED Gold by the U.S. Green Building Council. The 5-year-old building earned the #1 top spot ranking in the Pacific Northwest last year by Venues Today, based on attendance from ticketed events. We beat out several other facilities, including, I'm very proud to say, the T-Birds opposition to the north in Everett. So we are the winners. And ShoWare is accomplishing what the City Council set as a city strategic goal back in 2006, and that is to build a regional attraction in Kent. ShoWare has welcomed its 2 millionth guest. That happened last November at a T-Birds game. High school and college graduations brought over 52,000 students and family members to downtown Kent last June alone. And Disney's Frozen is already 60% on its way to selling out all 10 performances for this November. That's over 36,000 people coming to downtown Kent. And one thing to always keep in mind as we look at the finances of this facility, its activities are pumping an average of $23 million a year into our local economy. So recently, I was here to welcome participants of the Washington First Tech Challenge Robotics Competition. And also, the ShoWare hosted the Washington First Lego League competition in Western Washington Championships. So I do hope you arrived on time to see the demo by some of Kent's young people who are involved in Washington First Robotics, based right here in Kent, with a network of high-tech mentors, teachers, and schools throughout the Pacific Northwest. Washington First Robotics inspires young people to become science and technology leaders through epic region-wide robotic competitions. In fact, it was the Kent Chamber of Commerce that spearheaded and sponsored the first high school robotics team in Kent 5 years ago. Please help me welcome representatives from the First Lego League team. Coach Doug Ferguson, if you would come up, and he is from Martin Sortune Elementary School, and the First Robotics Competition team from Kentridge High School with Claire Richardson, a student there. They're going to come up and just share with you a few comments about what an investment this is and what the future holds. Come on up, Claire.
So, hi, my name is Claire Richards, and I am the Vice President of the Kentridge Robotics team at Kentridge High School. Every year, we're given a task or a game to complete, and we only have 6 weeks to design, build, and troubleshoot a robot to compete with. But something that I've learned over the years is FIRST is really different. FIRST isn't just about the robot, it's about the kids. Let me tell you just a teeny story. When I was a freshman in high school, I was told by my dad, who's one of our lead mentors, that I would try robotics. Honestly, I never thought I would love it as much as I do now. Robotics has built any student that participates in it in such a way where there's team building skills, there's managing skills, there's leadership skills, and then the experience that you get with building a robot. And not just building a robot, managing a budget, because our team isn't just a team, it's a business. And putting it all together, FIRST is such a great program that needs so much support to survive, and it's wonderful to see all of the support that we get from all of you. Thank you.
Hi, so my name is Doug Ferguson, and I'm a teacher here in the Kent School District. Okay, thank you very much. And I'm used to projecting without, so I'm told a minute, not a teacher minute. This isn't going to be long. So anyways, there's no real better explanation to what's involved with the FIRST program and what helps it be successful than what Claire has already told you, basically in a nutshell. To hear from a student who benefits from this program firsthand, that's really a big part of what we're working towards. I work at the elementary level. We start actually with the robotics Lego kits. So we start kind of with something that looks, kind of hook the kids in. It looks friendly, user-friendly, and then we build them up. And yes, it's robotics, yes, it's programming, but it's math and science, making math and science exciting and cool and accessible. Hey, if I can do robots, I can do fractions. If I can do robots, I can do long division. It's also even more so about teamwork, working together towards 21st century skills. And STEM, you may have heard of, science, technology, engineering, and math, which we want to build up here in Kent. And then the biggest piece of that outside the school is partnerships and support from people like you and from the city, as we work together with the district to build up our young people so you can see where they're starting out today, where they're heading, and where eventually they will hopefully come back and become a contributing member of our great city here in Kent. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. Would all of our students please stand, and their mentors? All of our coaches, mentors, students, please stand and be recognized. These are the folks building our future. From the first lunar rover developed at Boeing Space Center to the creation of next-generation rockets at Blue Origin, this underscores how Kent's young people are continuing our community's legacy of innovation. And for an inspirational and what I found very humbling experience, find a way to attend the Kent School District's Technology Expo, which will be held April 30th in the evening right here at ShoWare Center. Prepare to be wowed, because it is the students that will be showing you how to learn and how to apply technology. In fact, innovation in our community is the theme of my message to you today. We often speak about Kent's place as the 4th largest manufacturing distribution center in the country. As such, Kent has long understood the importance of global trade and investment for creating jobs. Whether in aerospace, home building, or other industries, Kent has seen the benefits of overseas companies coming here to invest in our community. The businesses in the Kent Valley are a huge economic engine, one that generates 1/8 of our state's entire gross domestic product, 1/8, to the tune of $49 billion annually. That's billion with a B. While that may be a surprising fact, what's fascinating is what is actually being made here. I already mentioned Boeing's lunar rover and Jeff Bezos' commercial rockets. You're likely aware that next January, Amazon is shipping 500 more jobs to Kent when its state-of-the-art 1.2 million square foot fulfillment center is finished. They'll use robots taking product distribution to the next level, and they're planning to use drone delivery. While that might sound controversial to some of us, this technology will likely be as commonplace as our smartphones are today. And former NASA scientists at Kent's own Laser Motive are working on technology to refuel drones in mid-flight from lasers on the ground. With Kent's concentration of over 50 aerospace companies, it's almost inevitable we're seeing so much activity melding the necessary skills from one industry to another. It's this type of innovative business activity and Kent's global connections that prompted the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee to sponsor the Economic Development Council of Seattle and King County's Economic Forecast Conference this past January. Thanks to the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee members for making Kent's reintroduction to the region possible, we were able to highlight some of our own homegrown innovation. In December, Seattle's The Stranger newspaper noted, and you have a copy of this at your table, that Kent is filled with delicious things from all over the world. At the Economic Forecast Conference, we took the opportunity to showcase some of those delicious things by providing samples from some of our international establishments. And I'd like to thank, in particular, Dion Dittmar. Dion, where are you? And with Airways Brewing and for her ongoing support. Sorry, we couldn't try the brews, but she has more to offer. And then Harpreet Gill with Punjab Sweets and La Herta. I don't quite get that R right. La Herta. And Aladdin Bakery, who really helped shine the spotlight on what's so tasty in Kent. We talk a lot about Kent's cultural diversity. But what does it really mean? It means our residents have a cultural fluency and a worldwide perspective that is so critical in today's global economy. Consider the definition of cosmopolitan. No, I don't mean the cocktail or the magazine, but free, what it means, cosmopolitan means free from local, provincial, or national ideas, prejudices, or attachments. At home all over the world, belonging to all the world, not just limited to one part of the world. Interesting term. Kent was noted in the Puget Sound Business Journal for going global for economic growth. While aerospace and high technology is part of that, our global acumen is not limited to those industries. We're also home to REI, Flow International, Tazo Tea, and of course one of Starbucks' 5 roasting plants that they have around the world. We heard several conference attendees exclaim that they didn't know there were 8,000 companies in Kent, 60,000 jobs, and 45 million square feet of space in the Kent Valley. 2 of our Kent businesses recently received the award from Executive Dow Constantine for Small Business of the Year honors. So congratulations to Concut, named Best Exporting Small Business for 2014. Concut, by the way, is the nation's largest American-owned manufacturer of diamond tools, including a range of diamond blades and a complete line of equipment for cutting concrete, masonry, stone tile, and other materials. And then there's Global Venture, which was named Best Minority-Owned Business of the Year. Global Venture was a pioneer in embracing radio frequency identification technology, which allows products to be radio tagged and communicate with machines quickly, cheaply, and efficiently. Now listen to this example. It's like your carton of milk. If you have a carton of milk, it will alert you because of this radio frequency. It'll alert your refrigerator that it's going to spoil soon, which then texts you a reminder to buy more milk. Who would have thunk? So this is just a sample of what's so fascinating that's being made here in Kent. We have all the possibilities of becoming as iconic as State Route 35 in Silicon Valley with its mix of innovative companies and people. So, and I hope the notepads at your table will serve as a reminder. Take some time to read some of the facts that are included. There's about 10 facts included in this notebook, printed at the bottom of the pages. This is why we are so excited about Kent. At the economic conference, we introduced our new brand, Kent, Washington, bringing the world home. We are globally connected. We're innovative, we're culturally fluent, and we have many companies here playing on the international stage. See for yourself on the new tourism website, which is called visitkent.com, and you can also follow Visit Kent on Facebook. We are no longer little old Kent. We simply must change the way we think and speak about ourselves and embrace our place on this global stage. Kent truly is cosmopolitan. Speaking of the global stage, Kent is a contender for the FAA regional headquarters. We negotiated and ultimately signed a contingent purchase and sale agreement for $10 million with Trammell Crow Company for the redevelopment of the Par 3 course at the Riverbend Golf Complex. If the site is selected, and please rest assured this is very competitive, but if our Kent site is selected, we'll see over 300,000 square feet of Class A office space for the Region 10 division of the Federal Aviation Administration. And the deal is truly a grand slam if we win it. We will receive property tax revenue, permit fees, and best of all, there will be 1,600 well-paid employees in our city every day shopping and eating in Kent, enjoying all the assets that our great city has to offer. This deal would also allow a sustainable future for the Riverbend Golf Complex. Not only would we be able to pay off the operating debt, we would finally be able to reinvest in the 18-hole golf course. Imagine what other economic opportunities this development could attract to this gateway of our community. A decision by General Services Administration is slated for March 30th. So continuing with innovation, the Association for Unmanned Vehicle Systems International is holding a forum and trade show next month at Cascade Towers, Boeing's former Space Center site. This forum will bring over 200 business leaders in this high-tech industry to the Kent Valley. And Kent is supporting development of Green River College's new Unmanned Aircraft Systems Operation and Maintenance degree program. Folks, drone technology is here in Kent, and it's here to stay. Our economy is diversifying as it should. An innovative idea we're considering is one that should excite shoppers. In an effort to increase retail sales tax from the Industrial Valley, our economic development staff is working on a list of interested companies to participate in a city-sponsored, quote, make in back, sell in front. Someone could make a rap song on that, maybe? Anyway, this is for our manufacturers. Make in back, sell in front. The initial thinking is to establish a couple warehouse weekends that highlight and focus on a specific product segment or cluster, such as outdoor recreation companies or home furnishings. So far, 7 companies are willing to explore the feasibility of this concept, and staff will continue to build upon the list of interested parties. So with a target rollout this spring, we hope to have a great idea to connect the public more with our warehouse businesses. And if the public embraces the concept of make in back, sell in front, Kent could become a regional shopping destination. All right, so now let's move on to the platform, the apartments, that is. Listen to this, folks. With the fastest lease rate that the developer, Goodman Real Estate, has ever experienced, the platform is already 70% leased, the fastest lease rate they have ever experienced. As our first community urban style, urban quality, multifamily housing project, it has set the new standard for downtown living. 172 units at the platform translates to over 250 people that weren't downtown before. These people will help ensure downtown restaurants are full on Wednesday nights, not just on weekends or when we have a showwear event. As we hoped, the platform has sparked market confidence, so much so that Tarragon is developing a 150-unit urban-style apartment development at Kent Station. Their building is valued at over $15 million, an investment that will further enliven Kent's downtown. 2014 was a record-setting year for building valuation. We had a 56% growth in valuation over 2013 and an estimated value of new construction at $242 million. Our permit value and permit revenue is up significantly, and building valuation of a new residence in 2014 was up $35,000 over the previous year. So now, that's been the key area here. Let's move over to West Hill. The city is working to beautify Kent along State Route 99 Pacific Highway South by re-landscaping the traffic islands at last. And we want to know what you think about our plans. So you can get information and share your thought online, or you can join us to talk about this project at a public meeting on April 15th, after you filed your taxes, at Trinity Community Church. So in the evening, 7 p.m. at Trinity Lutheran or Community Church, and that's across the street from West Fenwick Park. So we want to thank our neighbors, our Neighborhood Council of West Hill, for co-hosting this event. By the way, the medians have been a hot topic for West Hill residents and businesses. So we're really glad that we were able to find the means to allocate dollars this time to make some progress on that. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Think of this. What will you be doing in 2023? 2023. Well, one thing you can do is catch a ride on light rail from the new Kent Des Moines station on West Hill. Sound Transit's light rail already travels to SeaTac Airport. And just 8 years from now, it will extend to Kent with a station planned in the Kent Des Moines area. We're working closely with Sound Transit, our neighboring cities, and Highline Community College to maximize the opportunities for residents, students, and businesses. The Sound Transit EIS, Environmental Impact Statement, will be released this month. So now is the time to determine the rail alignment and station placement. They'll look at several alternatives there. This is going to be a big game changer up on our West Hill. So as we go from elevated rails, let's travel to elevated levees along the Green River. One of the biggest highlights in the valley was, can you believe, a highlight for this valley was truly the long-awaited accreditation of the Horseshoe Bend Levee by the Federal Emergency Management Administration. Horseshoe Bend, by the way, is a bow in the river at Carpenito Farms down on South Central, just north of the Auburn city limits. Since 2008, we've been working on this process. With help from the state legislature and consultants, we've invested $12.6 million. Horseshoe Bend now becomes the first fully accredited levee in the Green River Valley since the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers got out of the certification businesses. And Horseshoe Bend is one of only a handful of accredited levees in Washington state. Moving up, or downriver it would be called, north on the map, work on the Briscoe-Des Moines levee, which is along the West Valley Highway in Kent, right, crosses Kent and Tukwila. It's nearly 2/3 complete. This $18 million endeavor was funded by the state and the King County Flood Control District. Levee strengthening is going on right now at the lakes. So this levee, called the Upper Russell Road, is under construction currently and will be going to also into construction this summer. So design or planning work is underway at the same time on all the remaining levee reaches that need attention for FEMA accreditation. This work aims to protect our community from flooding, enhance habitat for fisheries, and secure our economic vitality. Without accreditation, we will be subject to onerous regulations and mandatory flood insurance requirements. So what's happening on the East Hill? Well, you know already a flurry of new investment has occurred. With rave reviews and tremendous fanfare, Trader Joe's opened last fall at the newly renovated Marketplace at Lake Meridian Retail Center. That's located at Kent Kangley and 132nd Avenue Southeast. Add to Trader Joe's JP's Tap Room, which is a casual neighborhood restaurant, and Mod Pizza, a make-it-on-demand pizza restaurant. And they'll be coming this spring. We'll also have Comfort Dental, Weight Watchers, and Sports Authority. Plus, there's more in the works. On East Hill, our parks activity included Wilson Playfield. It's the only park in the city that has synthetic turf, and it now sports new turf. So thank goodness. Over 1,550 games and competitions are held there annually. So you can see what a focus of activity it is. In our Panther Lake area, 150 volunteers installed a new playground at Green Tree Park. The footprint of the new playground doubled its size and includes many exciting features suggested by the children, who drew their ideas at a design day exercise last summer. So we are really engaging the people who live here into their city. You are also welcome to join us as we celebrate sidewalks, bike lanes, lighting, and landscaping when we cut the ribbon March 19th for the renewal of Southeast 256. So join us at 10 a.m. And thanks to the funding from the Washington State Transportation Improvement Board and a loan from our business and occupation tax funds, this previously substandard 2-lane road now features 3 lanes with a turn lane and safety features such as sidewalks, bike lanes, lighting, and it looks really good. The city is also working to beautify and make the James Street Hill corridor more accessible for pedestrians. You've noticed some missing trees. Well, we're continuing to take those trees down because they have totally ruined the sidewalks and the curbs and in some cases the road bed itself. So we're asking, though, for the public to chime in with any ideas that they have on how to complete this project. That meeting is coming up on April 9th at 7 p.m. at East Hill Elementary School. And we want to thank the Mill Creek Neighborhood Council for collaborating with the city and co-hosting this event. Now, no State of the City presentation would be complete without some information on city finances. The world has changed when it comes to government finance. Kent's biggest challenge is creating a sustainable budget. Our service delivery model dates back to the 1960s when the American economy was booming. State sales tax laws favored warehousing communities like ours, and tax limiting initiatives were a couple decades away. All 3 of these factors have changed, but the city's service delivery model has not. This means there's a new budget shortfall every year. The slow economic recovery only exacerbates the underlying problem. Base costs outpaced base revenues. To be clear, it's not about government growing. The city's share of property tax collections, our largest revenue source, is limited to growth of 1% per year. Inflation is at 3%. You can see there's a disparity right there. We could have a status quo budget every year with no new programs, no new police officers, and still be underwater. This is where the structural problem lies. The budget passed unanimously by council addressed a general fund shortfall of about $2.3 million for this year and a $3.9 million shortfall in 2016. While I proposed a higher B&O tax, boo, the council instead chose a mix of strategies, including modest increases in property taxes and permit fees. Even with these changes, the structural deficit remains. The council and I will form a financial sustainability task force of 15 volunteers to recommend what the city's service delivery model should look like in the future. And you are asked to weigh into this. So details on the application process are being finalized, and I anticipate we'll solicit nominations within the month. So complicating financial matters is the fact that Kent relies heavily on state shared revenues. And the state legislature, as you know, is poised to take millions of dollars from cities to balance the state's shortfall. Kent's top priority for this legislative session is protection of these state shared revenues, specifically streamlined sales tax payments, liquor revenues, and criminal justice assistance funds. These alone have a total annual impact of nearly $10 million. A recent report from Community Attributes Incorporated shows Kent, our loss from the change in sales tax collection to destination-based, to be $12 million a year. That's what we lost from a change in how sales taxes are collected. In addition to protecting our state shared revenues, we have asked the legislature for funding pre-construction work toward an East Hill YMCA. And we requested $15 million in state funding for the South 228th Union Pacific Railroad grade separation, as it ties into the regionally significant State Route 590 freeway extension. This is the extension as you go up 228th and Veterans Drive to come towards the ports of Seattle and Tacoma to connect us. We want to thank the Chamber for helping to make certain that this grade separation is in the Senate's transportation package. Thanks. Another perennial topic for the state of the city is public safety. Intelligence-led policing is working. Since 2006, the number of stolen cars has been cut in half. Still too many, but cut in half. Robberies decreased for the fourth year in a row. Residential burglaries continue to decrease 15% from 2013 and a 33% decrease from 2012. Commercial burglaries decreased for the fifth year in a row. And in fact, 2014 rate was 40% of the commercial burglary crime rate of 2006. As we're making good use of our inmates' times, because Kent has its own jail, we find that supervised work crews performed over 31,000 hours of work throughout our community. They assisted at the Senior Center, Tahoma National Cemetery, Kent and Auburn Food Banks, and washing the cars at the Kent Police Department and litter pickup and graffiti removal. In fact, they've even helped with dislodging some of the, or I shouldn't say dislodging, as much as cleaning up from some of our homeless camps that were not permitted. We are very fortunate that our police are so effective because 144 employees are cramped in a space meant to house 85 people. The number one priority of the police department is to keep our community safe, and they do that with consolidating our police force to one location to better communicate. That is critical for intelligence-led policing. So we need to be able to make sure our police can come together. Right now they're scattered in several different buildings. So we know we need adequate space to help increase victim privacy, and that we need realistic training facilities to better prepare officers to address critical and often dangerous incidents. And additionally, we need more crisis cells within our jail, which would allow us to serve our mentally ill inmates with more respect and dignity. And by the way, all of our police officers are going through training on how to handle incidents that involved and how to recognize when there may be a mental health issue in engaging with individuals. So in response to with the fact that Proposition A, which some of you were great at supporting, thank you so much. With the failure of that, however, it did not get the 60% approval. It got 53%, but not the required 60%. In response to that, the City Council has authorized a facilities efficiency study. The study may reveal that using existing spaces more efficiently could go a long way toward addressing the police department's needs, as well as those of some of our other departments. But my concern is it will not address the needs long term. So as we look to the future, over 950 people shared their ideas on what Kent should look like 20 years from now. And this was under Create Kent 2035. It was part of the public outreach that we've conducted as we begin the process of updating our comprehensive plan. Due for adoption by June 30th of this year, the plan tells Kent's story, who we are, the place we want to become, what revenue is available for maintenance and growth needs, and how should we prioritize those limited funds. So besides volunteering to take public surveys, we have volunteers from this community taking me up on what has been my consistent mayoral theme. This is your city. Last year, 3,100 volunteers contributed almost 7,000 hours to maintain and improve Kent's parks. Yes. 26 neighborhood councils have formed and are engaging with the city in ways we have never seen before, from beautification projects to spearheading efforts to become the first historic neighborhood in South King County. Way to go, Mill Creek. The newly formed Parks and Recreation Commission will help us prioritize park programs and programming. And then from Kent for Health volunteers to street adopters, block watch captains, and other boards and commissioners, I can't thank you enough for your commitment and your time, energy, and ideas into helping make Kent the best city possible. So now, folks, got your pens ready, got your notepads. I want you to write down the word for the day. We kind of had it with cosmopolitan, but we're going to move on to a new one. It's called Quasquicentennial. You got that? Repeat after me. Quasquicentennial. Kent's Quasquicentennial is our 125th anniversary. So how are you going to talk about it if you can't say it? So we are looking for everyone to find avenues to help integrate our anniversary and the pride we have in being 125 years old into some of your other activities. So from our roots in hops and lettuce farming to aerospace and high-tech manufacturing, Kent has come a long way since it incorporated on May 28th, 1890, with a population back then of 793. Today, we're about 122,000, not 793. So now, as a hub of innovation with over 120,000 residents, we're globally connected to as a community and we have so much progress in our history that we really need to celebrate where we've been and where we're going. So this important milestone is as wonderful and unique as our great city, starting with the International Festival. You'll see some celebrating of our anniversary there, our summer concert series, and the 4th of July splash and other activities. So I encourage you to find a way that you can be part of this positive messaging of Kent. Here's a website that you can visit. It's kentwa.gov, really hard, that's a city website, kentwa.gov/125 for our Quasquicentennial celebration. So you can get ideas from that website, and we're also having a community meeting, an open community forum on March 26th at City Hall, to be able to generate and share ideas as to how you can incorporate this celebration into your own activities. So while we celebrate 125 years as a city, our sister city in Yangzhou, China, is celebrating its 2,500th anniversary. We're 125 years old. Yangzhou is 2,500 years old. And they invited, when they met with President Ralph and myself just the other day, a delegation from there, inviting us to come celebrate their birthday party with, they want us to come join them. They presented me with this beautiful gift from who I call my Chinese sister in our sister city, Madame Deng. And while I was so taken aback by this jacket and what I considered the beautiful, vibrant colors, I also saw the jacket, besides representing our friendship across the world, it represents a lot of what I see in Kent, which is the vibrant colors of innovation, the vibrancy of the people that have come here. It is bursting with a sense of joy of bringing people home to Kent. And so with this jacket and with my thanks for all of you who are involved in this community in making us the best innovative city possible, you rock, we rock. Thank you.